An update in the investigation into former President Donald Trump's handling of classified documents has people questioning who has the power to declassify documents and when can they do it. Ariane Datil with the National Verify team looked into conditions under which a sitting president can declassify documents.
Former President Donald Trump has been indicted on 37 counts related to mishandling classified documents after he left office. Court records reveal FBI agents took 11 sets of classified records from former President Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate during a search on August 8th. In an August 12th post on Truth Social, a social media platform he founded, Trump claimed that the documents were all declassified. The former president's comments prompted several of our viewers, including Beverly and Carol, to ask, can the president declassify documents? So let's verify. Our sources are the U.S. Constitution, Executive Order 13526, Cal McClanahan, Executive Director of the National Security Counselors, a nonprofit public interest law firm, and Richard Immerman, professor and historian at Temple University. According to our sources, a president does have the authority to declassify documents while they're in office, but it isn't a formal process. Let me walk you through the levels of classification in the U.S. government and when presidents can and cannot exercise their power to declassify government records. The three levels of classification in the U.S. government are confidential, secret, and top secret. National security expert Cal McClanahan says the classification assigned to a document dictates
the level of damage that its release would cause to the national security of the United States.
According to the National Archives, a select group of government officials have classification authority, including the president, vice president, and agency heads. But let's focus on the president. The Supreme Court ruled the president's power over classified information comes from executive authority granted by the Constitution. A sitting U.S. president has wide-ranging authority to classify and declassify certain documents, but a former president does not. To classify a document, a sitting president has to make a plausible argument that it's related to national security, according to McClanahan. But he says there isn't the same requirement for declassifying documents.
He doesn't have to give any reason for declassifying it. He can just say, I decide that this should be declassified, and it's declassified.
According to our sources, there isn't a formal protocol the president has to follow in order to declassify government information. But historian Richard Immerman says there is an informal one that presidents generally follow. First, the president consults all departments and agencies that have an interest in a classified document. They provide an assessment as to whether the document should stay classified for national security reasons, and if there's a dispute among the agencies, they debate it. But ultimately, it's the president that makes the decision on declassification. So we can verify, yes, a president can declassify documents, but there isn't a set protocol that they have to follow. So what about the documents found at Trump's Mar-a-Lago estate? Well, there are other federal laws that bar a former president from taking government documents, regardless of whether or not they were declassified. With your Verify, I'm Ariane Datil.
Our local Verify team is working to answer your questions. Send us anything you want to know to verify@whas11.com. You can also shoot us a message on social media.